Welcome to Redeeming Thunder. This is a channel where we say the true name of the Heavenly Father. His name is Yahuwah, and the true Hebrew name of our Savior, Yahusha. We are the ones that are set apart, and we are the ones who follow His commandments and go back to Yahusha's roots and do our best to honor Him, celebrating Shabbat every week. Now, this is a prophetic word given to me by two dreams. And this is chapter 49, part 2 of the ordained spouse. If you are standing for a heavenly gift given by Yahuwah the Almighty, okay? If you're waiting for your divine kingdom marriage, this word is for you, okay? This word was given to me on between 8/2/2025 through the 6th. So I had dreams on throughout the beginning of August. Now, you need to stay until the end of the video because I reveal the hidden mystery behind these items in the dream, some of which is positive and some of which is negative in the sense of a witchcraft attempt on your life. Okay, so that's why you need to listen on until the end, because sometimes deliverance is needed, and sometimes the warning was enough and you were able to sway away from it. Okay, and you are able to then remind yourself that you still need to pray for hedge of protection. Okay, and you still need to be in divine alignment in order for this to occur in your life. Okay, the first dream I received on 8/2, and this is regarding your ordained spouse. So this is the man, okay? I saw that there was a man at a store, and he was at the register, okay? Or I saw a scanner at the register, and he wanted a few things. And one of the items that he was already purchasing, okay, so he's already all in, okay, was a cologne and a white bar of soap. And he had a little white box, and it had something in it. Okay, and that was the dream, and I woke up. So your ordained spouse has been preparing to meet you, okay? When we talk about the cologne, that symbolizes the presence and favor of the Most High. Okay? Someone that is life is dedicated to the Most High. And this has been the hiccup, okay? For those of you who have been in counterfeit relationships and or haven't been in a relationship in a very long time because it just doesn't work out, okay? You soon find out that they may not be having fruits of the Spirit, or they may just be sketch, okay? Or they may just be all about themselves, very, very self-centered and selfish type of individual. Then they could have their own doctrine. Okay, there could be very stubborn individuals, or you have been probably encountering where they're kind of lukewarm, or maybe even cold in the regards of following Yahuwah's commandments and having a relationship with him. And you got tired. You got tired of holding the relationship in your own hands. And you got tired of being the only one praying for the relationship to work out. And this is what I'm talking about if you are in a relationship, a counterfeit one, okay, or you got out of it because it just was so much work to even cause it to. The only way it was surviving is because of you were holding it up and doing all of the work. This is the journey of healing. This whole series of the ordained spouse is the woman learning to stand down in the regards of boss lady, okay, in the regards of feminist, in the regards of I don't need a man, okay, I can do it myself, and in the regards of you must be a giver. Maybe giving is your love language, but you also need to receive. And so you're in the process of learning how to set boundaries and learning how to love yourself and not put yourself completely last and not even on the list. You're learning to put yourself on the list. You're learning to do a lot of self-care. And you are learning to surround yourself with people who will support you in your healing journey so that they're healthy, mentally healthy individuals that surround you. Okay? They will be encouraging instead of jealous and envious. So you have to have a new circle. Okay? And you've been isolated a bit. And it was only to provide you a new mindset, a new wardrobe, okay? A new wineskin. Because you weren't surviving how it's been going. Sometimes people were only around you because they were reaping the blessings and favor. And they just abandon you later, okay? Or sometimes, like you overwork yourself. And you do everything for everyone. And I'm not saying for those that are perfectionists and they like to, redo people's work and they like to disregard people. I'm not saying that you're that person. I'm saying in order for things to run smoothly and or to even happen, let's say it's these special events that you're planning and or vacations and or even planning some dates or dinners. In order for it to happen, you had to plan it all. Yahuwah was trying to get you out of that little funk, okay? And he's trying to get you to understand that there's better out there for you. You didn't have to go through all that mess anymore. And there's somebody out there that wants the fragrance of the Most High upon them. They want to honor the Most High. And they will love you correctly because they love Yahusha. Okay? They want to honor him. They want to obey him. So fruits of the Spirit are their portion. They will know how to be the leader. They will know how to initiate. They will know how to carry you during your difficult times without being explosive and taking the cake of anger and attention from that moment that you were trying to express yourself. They will be mature and be able to stand strong and brave and bring you down from that moment rather than elevating it and extorting it, okay? That's why it's important to choose what Yahuwah wants for you and not you choose for yourself anymore. Okay, this is a pleasing aroma to the Most High. And he is immersing himself in the presence of the Most High, and he is going through purification and sanctification. Okay, he's devoted to a divine relationship with the Most High. Now, the bar of soap in the dream, again, it represents washing away, removing certain barriers from their life and destiny. So the barriers are being washed away. Okay. It also stands for cleansing and purity. Someone that is desiring to grow spiritually and understanding Yahuwah's word more deeply. He also is repenting, okay, and going through moments of forgiveness to have a clean slate with the Most High. Okay, so and the little box, I don't know what the little box was. It could have I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so now the second dream that was given to me on 8/6/2025. Now these prophetic words are manifesting into reality, into present day, because I'm recording this in December, even though I received it in August. Okay, that's about 5 months. So even though it's kind of manifesting now. So he gives me these words ahead of time. And it just happens to, as I'm going through these chapters, it happens to work out just perfectly that I record when it's manifesting on earth. Okay, so this is still chapter 49. Okay, part 2. And the dream began with I saw this woman, and she had entered this restaurant, and immediately she saw a team in the kitchen cooking. Okay, people that she knew. That was key right there. I want you to pay attention to that detail. Okay, and she wanted so desperately to be part of a team. Okay, so at the beginning, she walked by the stand, and which ended up bringing a family member to the food stand. She entered, and she recognized who was the chef in the restaurant. Okay, and she recognized the owner of the restaurant. This woman that's the owner of the restaurant had a grand opening, and she had been cooking and was busy in the back, and she left food unattended in the front. So near the front of the host area, okay, where you check in, there was a pot of food on a burner, and she just left it there, and she went in the back and was cooking with other people. Okay, so the woman that initially entered and had a desire to want to be part of a team, she went to the pot and started stirring it. Okay, just to assist, and so that it doesn't stick at the bottom. She just wanted to be helpful. Okay, so what she noticed is, while she was assisting, she noticed she was not invisible. They were, somebody was watching her at the corner of their eye, that she was assisting. Okay? The owner of the restaurant kept chopping food, vegetables and stuff, and left the stove on in the front. Okay? Someone stood by the woman that was really wanting to have a team. Okay? Then the woman that was desiring to be part of a team, she went to the seating area and she saw other people. These were ancestors. She saw other people walk in together into the restaurant, and they sat together. And she sat there for a minute, and she with them. And those individuals explained how they were moving out away from a toxic individual in the family. Okay? And so after she heard that news of their personal problem, she said she has to go back in the kitchen because somebody left something on the stove, and she was sort of she was just sort of concerned about the food, especially since it's a restaurant and this woman likes to run a tight ship. Okay? Who is the owner? She likes to run a tight ship. So the woman who really wanted to be part of a team, okay, she wanted to show that she had some skills. Okay? She wanted her to notice. She wanted the chef of the restaurant to notice that she could manage, and she could also be a host. She wanted a position, right? And she thought she could just chime in and work together in unison, I guess. As the woman was there watching, just watching so that the temperature on the heat on the flames wasn't too high, she started noticing that somebody was watching her. Okay? Okay. Now, we're fast forwarding, right? We're fast forwarding to a real life scenario of an actual woman that I know who has been experiencing quite a bit of this exact scenario. Now, this revelation had given to me on 12/11/2025. So she was attending this training in this clinic, okay? And suddenly, what was at first what looked like some divine connections of destiny helpers, right? That were assisting her with her health needs, okay? She suddenly felt there was a shift. As in, can I give you an example here? She said that at first it was like they were very open to listening to what was going on in her life. And there were some wonderful blessings occurring. And so she was sharing the wonderful blessings and the abundance. And she was also explaining her journey of healing from her body, misalignments, right? And they were all in to assist her. But what occurred was she noticed that they did enjoy her company quite a bit. And so she's on the journey of wanting to heal. But what she started noticing is the individuals, therapists that could heal her, they were not available. Then that was a hiccup there. Then she noticed that they wouldn't do thorough work to get her to a really good healthy standing. Like, kind of take a seat back from their full potential. And she started noticing that maybe it had a lot to do with, you know, keeping her there, although she's injured, okay? Keeping her there because they want her there longer. And if she heals too quickly, then she'll be on her way and living the rest of her life, right? Not always having to get treatment, right? Because you're healed. Okay. So what occurred at first, that they had the potential to be destiny helpers. Now you in your own life have experienced a circle of people that you were around that maybe had good intentions at the beginning, but some selfish ambitions interceded. And you internally do not feel the grace on it to continue those relationships. It could be that you were at a clinic, okay? It could be that you were at this job. It could be you were in this relationships, friendships and or romantic, okay? And suddenly it just feels off. It feels like you could move on, okay? And what the Most High does is, in order, when you're moving on to a new chapter in your life, okay, when you're moving on and you're elevating, He will first explain to you through your feeling, through that unction, through that gut feeling that something's off. Okay? And sometimes it will manifest itself through people sabotaging the plans. Let's say they hired people, okay, to assist further on, they're expanding business and it looks promising. But then when you express that they're helping you so much and you are advancing in your health, let's say if it's a clinic situation, all of a sudden they let that person go. All of a sudden they let the other person go that you expressed that you are healing. And they say it just didn't work out. Like sabotaging the progress. Does that make sense? And instead of the revelations of someone coming into the picture to be your destiny helper, they remove that destiny helper and they plug themselves in to be your destiny helper in a elevated level that they don't have grace for to do. They are not the one, in other words. Although they do value as the person, okay, you do see kindness coming your way, that you do see, you do feel it, okay. Ultimately, the sabotaging in order to plug themselves in is rooting from, I see a lot of this when people have a secret crush on someone and they don't want them to meet that other person. And so they plug themselves in so that you can get distracted, right? But you're not getting distracted. You just felt like something was big time off, right? Okay, something along the lines. Or, it starts to becoming almost controlling with a slap on the face with a smile. So it's a little bit conniving, okay? So, prior to receiving this confirmation of what my friend of mine had expressed regarding the sabotaging and plugging themselves in, and all of a sudden now it's becoming a misalignment. Okay, I received prophetic word on 11/30/2025 that the Most High wants you to up and move, whether it be a job and or a clinic. Okay, because He has plans for you to grow and ascend somewhere else, and to heal, and to advance in promotion. And so the dream, we did talk, it did seem that she wants promotion. Okay, the woman wanted to show them that she can do this while she's in healing mode. She does have a lot of skills. She does. Okay, and maybe those individuals saw those skills and they want to plug her in. But that ship has sailed. And the Most High is saying you have permission to leave where you were and go forth. And He will show you where. Get in the secret place and He'll show you where to go. He will show you who to call. He will put the right people in your path who are not going to come through it through a Jezebel manipulative spirit, controlling spirit. Okay? So sometimes people want you to stay there because their business is booming, because you are there, just showing up. Have you noticed that when you enter stores, it's quite empty? The mall's empty. Okay? Macy's is empty. Let's just say. You enter the grocery store. Okay? It's kind of empty. Or you even enter a restaurant. It's kind of empty. But then you show up, or you're at a 7-Eleven and it's empty. Pretty much. You're like the only customer when you just arrived. And suddenly they get a rush of people. Have you noticed that? Because you come with abundance. You come with favor. You come with grace. You come with light. You come with wonderful things. You come and it follows you. So sometimes people want you there, and they may even try to delay your abundance in another fashion because they need you there for other reasons that benefit them. So when you're trying to heal from that type of toxic relationships, you cannot stay there, especially when they are sabotaging divine alignments, divine connections. You cannot stay there, right? Okay. And maybe I need to remove other people because they didn't work out. All right. But then if they're refusing to hire others that could bring you in correct alignment, all right? But if they're refusing to continue with that urgency to do so, and they just instead plug themselves in when they are not the one that you are supposed to get trained with and or be in that department with and or clinic, okay? That's when they made it their own. And you have permission from the Most High to say, to evolve and to progress without any hard feelings. Okay? You're not going through life with grudges. And you're going to progress. And you're going to advance in your life, but you're just going to move forward and on. And it's not going to be that same place anymore. Okay? And I want to talk about the interpretation. Cooking in dreams could sometimes tell a person that he or she needs deliverance from marine spirits. Okay? No matter what you are cooking in dreams, the meaning is always negative. Depending on the outcome that may surround it, if you see your cooking in the village symbolizes backwardness and marital hopelessness. If you are a foreigner and you keep seeing yourself cooking in your village or back home, Whatever how important it is, this is an indication of evil manipulation coming. Do you hear this? Do you hear this? This is the interpretation of it. This is exactly what was happening. And so, do you recall the chef looking at the corner of their eye? In your real life, it may not be a chef, and it may not be a restaurant. It could be a clinic. It could be a job place. It could be, you know, something of the nature, okay? And the leader there, which once was going to, you know, listen and support, now all of a sudden is cooking up some marital hopelessness, some backwardness. And your body could feel it. If you were getting treatment there, your body could feel it, that you just weren't healing quick enough. You just weren't progressing because something was off. They had ill intention. Okay? And if it was not a clinic and you was a position, you know, a new job, it didn't work out because any progress that you were trying to do, it was maybe looked down upon, and or they weren't noticing your potential. Do you understand this? Okay, so let's read on of more interpretation of what this dream, okay, is revealing. Okay. When a woman sees herself often in the village cooking majorly for occasions such as a wedding, traditional marriage, child dedication, birthday, know that she will experience series of challenges. One of the major ones is being a problem to man. This is no point ignoring this dream because its meaning may catch up with you in the future. Okay. Spiritual meanings when you have a dream when you are cooking meat. I'm not entirely sure what was cooking in the pot in the dream. It just looked like boiling water or something. But she stood by it to make sure that it was not burning, whatever was the chef was cooking, hoping to be helpful. But it in turn, the chef in the dream, so the individual in your life, was had manipulative, controlling attributes there. Okay? It means that you're going through a lot of spiritual problems when it's meat, when it's someone is cooking meat in a dream. It is a reflection of a person being possessed into marine world. Okay. So I'd like to explain what it means besides my dream, so that way if you have that dream, you know how drastically deliverance is needed, so you can do the prayers. Okay. Perhaps you are feeling that your opportunities have gone. Maybe your deliverance you did in a church seems to be incomplete. Maybe you are experiencing the evil loads on sickness on you. The dream could mean that your enemies are fighting hard to keep you in perpetual bondage of stagnation. And that is exactly what my friend was experiencing. It felt stagnant. They knew which therapist would help her advance. She explained to them that there was just an area left of treatment needed and she would advance. And yet they withheld that from her. And there were reasons, you know, besides being short-staffed or there were other reasons, right? But all the more, they decided to not support her in her healing journey, even though they're the professionals to do so. Okay? Now, if you dream about someone asking you to cook meat, it means your reputation is about to be tarnished. And if you care is not taken, the symptoms could come as a form of satanic exchange of destiny. And that's if you're cooking meat, okay? Cooking meat in a dream is a warning sign that a certain person or enemy is trying to do you harm. So let's say the meat tastes good in your mouth in the dream. Let's say you ate that. That didn't happen in this dream, but let's say you had a dream. You should break any demonic covenant working against you. Now, the interpretation of cooking fish in a dream means something is not going on well with you. You might be feeling limited by some environmental witchcraft around you. These dreams is telling you that there is a certain demonic covenant and curses that are stealing your virtues. So maybe the reason why this woman that was attending these appointments wasn't getting better is because they were stealing the virtue instead of helping her feel better. So their bodies are feeling wonderful while her body was feeling actually crumbling. That means these individuals that she was getting tended by, they are aware of some kind of witchcraft that they're able to conduct, and they're not quite innocent. Okay? And you do need to do a switcheroo of where you are working and or where you were going clinic wise, okay? And then these dreams is telling you that there is a certain demonic covenant curses that are stealing your virtues. And you're like, but how are they doing it? Well, typically, people need to touch you. That's why you don't hug anybody, okay? I don't think this woman was hugging people. She didn't express that, but it's kind of obvious. She is professional and she was not hugging people. Okay, if you can pray to know the particular one, it would be of huge help in the areas of deliverance. Okay, so if you dream that you cooked, your soul has been challenged due to some powers. On the other hand, if you burn the food, fish, or cook something that's not good, it represents the attack of illness, errors, mistakes, failures, and even loss of something. If you dream you feed someone after cooking food or fish, it represents the devil is taking efforts to use you to cause tragedy in the life of someone. Cooking or boiling fish or meat always indicates an empty soul or a person suffering from attack from home. Maybe you dream about cooking or boiling water indicates your worries about your parents or your situation. In the dream, she did see some ancestors. Okay, so that does make sense. In some cases, this dream could indicate your involvement into witchcraft practice. Maybe you are collecting strange gifts from occult people. Sometimes the gifts that are occult, they don't always look occult. I want you to make sure you know that. Sometimes they look like regular items. So you pray for high discernment, okay? And you ask the Heavenly Father, can you please give me, insight? Because, can you please give me insight? Because you need to detach yourself. Can I give you an example? There was a shared workspace that I had at the job that I used to have, and this woman would leave these items around the counter, right? And I mean, I shared it with several other people, not just her, but I could tell that her items were there purposely put, and the Most High told me that they were cursed. And some of the items were just dimes and nickels. The other item that were for sure witchcraft was some totem. It image on a mug that was placed there purposely that I had to break in order to break that curse. Okay, then there was might have been another item there that I don't remember, but they don't always look like these weird artifacts, these weird symbols, you know, the Celtic symbols. That's definitely witchcraft, okay? You got to be careful with that. So you got to be very careful what you receive. And now that I think about it, when my friend was going to that clinic, they would always have snacks, and it was food, obviously, right? And they just place it there, and people would bring it. Other patients would bring it there, okay? And they would leave it there for the staff, and then the staff would share with everyone. And then, or she also would bring some fruits and cookies or stuff, and she would leave it there for them just to be a kind gesture. It wasn't always food, though, that she would bring. And so it just seemed like such a fun and kind thing to do. Loving kindness, right? But you don't know what the other patients brought there. You don't know. Now we know that there was some manipulative intentions within the clinic there, which was at first destiny helper. Then they saw the benefits of keeping you there, so they felt they needed to manipulate the situation and taint it a bit, causing stealing of virtue, okay? Which put her in an ill factor, okay? Put her in misalignment, put her in still in the same achy predicament, okay? Where she didn't feel it felt stagnant, okay? But that's what you need to be careful. These witchcraft scenarios, you're like, but they're not witches. They don't get a cauldron, and they don't go and conjure, these spells. They don't do this. They don't do that. What are you talking about? Why are you saying this? And I'm saying that witchcraft could be as simple as slander and gossip. But witchcraft is also the Jezebel spirit, which is controlling, manipulation. It is not just casting spells with crystals and some little items, some ill wishes, some little, I don't know what they do, because I'm just saying they're not always with trinkets. Okay? Sometimes the way people behave with you is already the witchcraft. So I want you to have your eyes open. Pray for high discernment. So at this moment, we're going to do deliverance prayer. Okay? Because you need to cancel every demonic attack against you so that you are not stagnant. Okay? In your divine promise of your ordained spouse. All right, so let me explain a little further more what is a marine spirit. Princes and princesses of the sea, powerful demonic forces linked to lust, filth, and wickedness. Manifestations influence sexual immorality, marital breakups, dream encounters, spiritual spouse, and general oppression. Connected to chaos and opposition to Yahuwah's kingdom, drawing from themes of the sea in the Bible. Ask the Holy Spirit, Ruach HaKodesh, to reveal sins or habits. Okay? Sincerely turn away from specific sins when identified. Engage in focused praise and worship to create a holy atmosphere. And in prayer, Ruach HaKodesh will reveal the hidden issues. So in the dream, it was people she knew, and it was also in ancestral, okay? So how desperate you are to be part of a team. Yahuwah has that team for you, and he will guide you to it, okay? And hold on. Hold on, because he's going to bring those divine relationships, friendships, okay? Career, ministry. He's going to bring it to you. And so sometimes desperation causes one to be blind. And thinking the best of everyone, that they're just like you. And they're not always just like you. Okay? So this is the prayer. Therefore, as we go into prayer, I hold in my hand the victory of Yahusha purchased on the cross. Well, necessarily, it was more like a stake. But when he made an open show of principality and powers. Okay? I take my position in Yahusha as one given power to become the son of Yahuwah, heir of the kingdom of Yahuwah, to execute judgment against every form of disobedience. Every form of disobedience exhibited against the knowledge of Yahuwah. Greater is he that is in me than any power on earth and in the seas. I am born of Yahuwah, and I have overcome the world with my faith. In faith, I hand over my battles to Yahuwah. In faith, I come against every stronghold of any marine spirit kingdom. In faith, I pollute your water with the blood of Yahusha. In faith, I overturn every queen enthroned against me. In faith, I trample upon her serpents and scorpions. In faith, I spoil her place and set captives free and bind her. Therefore shall be no reinforcement or evil reunion of this power against me. Seal my confessions with the blood of Yahusha, and I cover myself with the blood of Yahusha. These are the proclamations, declares, and decrees that you need to say over your life. This is how you become delivered from these demonic attacks, okay? From the witchcraft. So you praise the Most High, okay? You give him praise and honor. And you do it organically, okay? Sincerely and organically. And then we jump in. Any witchcraft practice under any water against my life receive immediate judgment of fire in the name of Yahusha. Let every evil altar under water upon which certain evil are done against me roasted in the name of Yahusha. Every priest ministering at the evil altar against me inside any water fall down and die in the name of Yahusha. Any power under any river or sea remotely controlling my life be destroyed by fire in the name of Yahusha, and I shake myself loose from your hold in the name of Yahusha. Let any evil monitoring mirror ever used against me under any water crash to irredeemable pieces in the name of Yahusha. Every marine witchcraft that has introduced spirit, husband, wife, or child in my dreams be roasted in the name of Yahusha. And then we're going to say that for your children. Every marine witchcraft that has introduced spirit, husband, wife, or child in the dreams of my children be roasted by fire in the name of Yahusha. Every agent of marine witchcraft physically attached to my marriage or to frustrate it fall down and perish now in the name of Yahusha. Every agent of marine witchcraft assigned to attack my finances through dream fall down and perish in the name of Yahusha. I file a counter report in heaven against every water spirit in the name of Yahusha. I pull down every stronghold of bewitchment enchantment, jinx, or divination
Mommy,
fashioned against me by the marine witches in the name of Yahusha. Let the thunderbolts of Yahuwah locate and destroy every marine witchcraft covens where deliberations and decisions have ever been fashioned against me. In the name of Yahusha, any water spirits from my village or place of birth practicing witchcraft against me and my family be amputated by the word of Yahuwah in the name of Yahusha. Let every spiritual weapon of wickedness fashioned against me under any river or sea be roasted by fire of Yahuwah in the name of Yahusha. Any power of marine witchcraft holding any of my blessings in bondage receive the fire of Yahuwah and release them in Yahusha's name. I loose my mind and soul from the bondage of marine witches in the name of Yahusha, and a marine witchcraft chain binding my hands and feet from prospering be broken and shattered to pieces in the name of Yahusha. Every arrow shot into my life from under any water by witchcraft powers come out of me and go back to your sender in the name of Yahusha. Any evil material transferred into my body through contact with any marine witchcraft agent be roasted by fire in the name of Yahusha. Any evil material transferred into my blood through contact with any marine witchcraft agent be roasted by fire in the name of Yahusha. Every sexual pollution of marine spirit, husband, wife in my body be flushed out by the name of Yahusha. Any evil name given to me under any water, I reject it and cancel it with the blood of Yahusha. Every image constructed under any water to manipulate, be roasted by fire in the name of Yahusha. Any evil ever done against me through marine witchcraft, oppression, and manipulation be reversed by the blood of Yahusha. Every marine witchcraft present in my family be disgraced